I admit, I didn't know that sherry is made in just one place in the whole world. Yep, Jerez. So visiting sherry wine cellars or bodegas is simply a unique, must-see experience around here.
Sherry is actually named after this city. However, you have to dig a little deeper to realize that. This fortified wine began developing during Moorish rule when Jerez was known as Jerez. After the Christians reconquered the city from the Muslims, de la Frontera was added to its name, meaning of the border, since Jerez was situated between Christian and Islamic territories.
Nowadays, Jerez is packed with bodegas offering guided tours, and I'm checking out one of the top spots, Bodega's Tío Pepe, home of the famous white rye sherry.
On the tour, you'll learn about special chalky white salt called albariza, which is perfect for growing palomino grapes, the backbone of sherry. Combine that with Jerez's hot, dry weather and a bit of sea humidity, and you've got the perfect recipe for aging sherry. Some barrels even hold traces of wine that's over 100 years old, as sherry is made by blending younger wines with the older ones. Tour lasts about 2 hours and ends with a sherry tasting. Just heads up, sherry packs a punch. It's stronger than your regular wine, ranging from 15 to 22% alcohol, thanks to that fortification process that adds a brandy to its initial fermentation.
Part of the winery is also one of the most charming streets in Spain. Well, some will argue that this is no longer street because it's no longer public, but just look at its charm. It's undeniable even in this rainy weather.
It's called Blind Street because it was once a popular gathering spot for the poor and blind who would beg here, as the street led directly to the cathedral,
built on the site of a former mosque. You see, after more than 550 years of Moorish rule, Jerez was reconquered by Christian forces in 1264. The mosque was converted into church and dedicated to Jesus Christ the Holy Savior, or San Salvador.
Even if churches aren't usually your thing, you can't miss this one. It replaced the old converted mosque in the 1700s when booming sherry industry brought wealth and influence to Jerez. A unique blend of architectural styles starts with flamboyant Baroque facade. Gothic interior is filled with towering columns and ribbed vaults, and magical light filters from beautiful high octagonal dome. You'll receive an audio guide offering an in-depth explanation of the cathedral, though listening to it all might take some time. Behind the main altar lies the entrance to the cathedral's hidden gem, its museum. Spread across several rooms and a small courtyard, it houses a rich collection of gold and silver religious artifacts, paintings and sculptures.
Yes, you'll need a ticket to enter the church, but there is a pro tip. Skip the basic entrance and go for the combined ticket that includes access to the cathedral's tower. Trust me, it's hands down the best lookout point in all of Jerez.
But be prepared for a little workout, as there are about 150 steps to the top. This isn't just any old clock tower, it was originally a minaret. After the Reconquista, it was transformed into a freestanding bell tower and survived even when the new cathedral was built.
But Moorish heritage really shines in this place. The Moors did all the hard work of building this fortified palace called Alcázar. But then, the story gets a mysterious twist.
Christians conquered Jerez, and a mysterious order known as the Knights Templar moved in. These guys are legends, often seen as the secretive guardians of the Holy Grail, holding unimaginable power and wealth.
Shh! But by the way, there are 6 claimed Holy Grails, and I saw one of them in Valencia, so be sure to check out that video.
However, in the mysterious events of the 1300s, many Templars were arrested and executed. Their order was abolished and they disappeared from Jerez. Perhaps they angered a powerful king by deceiving him with a counterfeit Holy Grail. Who knows? What I do know is that you can explore Alcázar's imposing fortifications, complete with towers and gates. You can stroll through beautiful gardens, visit the only surviving mosque in town, and even check out ancient baths. At the center of the complex stands a Baroque palace, added later as a residence for one of Jerez's most powerful families, the Villavicencio family. They were heavily involved in the wine trade, local politics, and oil production, even establishing an oil mill within the Alcázar grounds.
Now it's time to grab a bite.
The best places to grab a simple and delicious bite with an authentic feel are the Tabancos. These unique bars are found only in Jerez. They serve a double role, part bar, part shop. You can sip sherry by the glass straight from the barrel or even buy it in bulk. Some of these spots also host flamenco shows, offering a real cultural treat.
And this is absolutely delicious. This is rabo de toro, stewed bull's tail. The chunks of tail are cooked for a long time in water and sherry, so it's really nice and soft. And of course, we can't skip the sherry, because after all, this is a sherry bar.
But before you head to Tabancos, it's good to know your three basic sherry options. Fino is dry, crisp and pale white. Oloroso is darker, richer and can be dry or sweet. Pedro Jimenez or PX is very sweet and syrupy, made from sun-dried grapes. It's perfect as a dessert wine. Tabancos are also the birthplace of popular Spanish tapas. The word tapa actually means cover, and there is a charming local legend behind its origin. It is said that in the past, bartenders would place a slice of ham or cheese on top of the glass to keep flies out. According to folklore, Spanish King Alfonso once visited Tabanco in Jerez, where he was served a sherry with a slice of ham on the top. The king enjoyed a small bite so much that he ordered all his drink to come with a tapa from then on, and thus the tradition was born.
Hard to believe, but this stunning building behind me, it's actually a part of a school for horses. You see, Jerez is one of the few places in the world where they teach horses to dance, and I'm about to see what they've learned.
The horses that attend this school are Andalusian, one of the oldest and purest horse breeds in the world. Known for their intelligence, power and elegance, they are the stars of this historic place dedicated to preserving a classical form of Spanish dressage dating back centuries. The school also houses two museums, one focused on the history of carriages and another devoted to the art of horsemanship. In the school's beautiful riding arena, you'll see these majestic horses in action. The show, called How the Andalusian Horses Dance, is essentially a horse ballet. It shows art of classical riding, with horses doing choreographed moves synchronized to classical Spanish music, with riders dressed in 18th century costumes.
But that's just the beginning of the Andalusian charm. Let's take a stroll through the old town's most beautiful historical streets.
When Jerez became one of Spain's wealthiest cities due to its booming sherry trade in the 1800s, wine merchants set up their businesses and lavish homes in newly built grand buildings lining the streets of the old town.
As Jerez is close to the Atlantic, it was also an ideal hub for shipping sherry. The wine was fortified with brandy, giving it a longer shelf life, perfect for those long sea voyages.
Charming Old Town is compact, and the best way to explore it is on foot. Streets and squares are a wonderful place to soak in the atmosphere. With a mix of historic and traditional Andalusian buildings, the Old Town has a lovely atmosphere where you can enjoy the blend of history and local culture. Throughout the Old Town are several beautiful historical palaces, but to see them, you'll need to book a visit in advance.
I know this is another church, but it's well worth a quick look inside. And a pro tip, get a combined ticket that includes the cathedral, the cathedral's tower, and this church.
San Miguel is the largest church in Jerez, beautifully blending 3 centuries of construction. Gothic towering columns support magnificent vaulted ceilings, and the light filters through intricate windows. At the heart is an incredible main altarpiece. It was crafted by the legendary sculptor Juan Martínez Montañez, often called the God of Wood. It depicts the Archangel Michael expelling Lucifer and his followers from paradise. On the opposite side, hidden in the darkness, is another breathtaking altarpiece. It shows souls in purgatory, with Archangel Michael and Saint Peter standing guard at Heaven's Gate. Even a changing room for priests is absolutely stunning and massive, and even holds relics of saints. As you wander through the church, don't miss the side chapels, definitely worth your time. Speaking of time, keep in mind that most attractions in Jerez open at 10 a.m., close at 1 p.m., and then reopen from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m.
If you are a motorsport fan, be sure to visit the Jerez Racetrack, one of the few circuits used both by MotoGP and F1 race cars. I'll include a list of all my favorite Jerez experiences in the description below, so check that out. Yet, despite all this, Jerez remains a hidden gem with a fantastic atmosphere and affordable prices. Let us know in the comments what you like the most about Jerez, and don't forget to subscribe for more amazing discoveries. I'm Rock, thanks for watching, and see you next time.